He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello everyone, this is Don Baine, the Gadget Professor, coming to you live from CES 2017. We have been doing a new interview every 15 minutes for the last 2 days. We have seen some incredible technology, really fun stuff. And coming up very shortly, we're going to have the folks from LiveU here. So what I would like to do, if you could hand me that LiveU box and display. I'm actually going to bring the LiveU website up. This is a very ingenious device. If you can just put it right there, and also if you can get the box, it's in that cardboard box. This device is brand new. They've just come out with it, and I think you're going to find it interesting if you're into streaming or wondering how we get shows like this on the air. LiveU is certainly one of the leaders, one of the premier companies in this space, and they make a device right now. It's called the Solo, and this is called Go Live with the Solo device. And what this does is it's a simple, small, portable device, and what it does is it actually hooks up to your camera. And you don't have to be a professional to use this. This will actually make you a professional. I'm going to bring this up right now. This is the device, and let me tell you, there is a lot of technology packed into this LiveU device. And in a matter of seconds, Claudia actually is walking through the door as I'm talking about her product. Claudia, welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm going to take a quick picture.
We're going to get a picture. This is so cool. As I said, folks, we're live, and I was just doing the intro to this product because I'm so impressed with it. And Claudia just walked in, and thank you so much for...
I'll say hi.
This lady's always on time. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
How are you doing? How are you holding up?
Good. It has been a hectic morning already. It's a busy show. Yeah.
Claudia, you're a very busy lady, but you know what? I always compliment people because I got to tell you, it's tough getting around here, period. It's tough driving here. It's tough parking here. It's tough walking here. It's tough. And Claudia does, I don't even want to ask how many interviews a day.
It's been a busy day and a half already, I think.
Yeah, and I've actually interviewed Claudia at NAB last year, and I think I talked to her the year before, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yes.
And she's always on time. And no matter how busy she is, she's always smiling, she's always pleasant, and I just love that, and it just makes my job so much easier and so much fun. And I just have to laugh. I'm holding up her product.
I know, it was really funny.
I'm talking about the product,
timing.
And she's right on time, and I just figured, I want to jump into it because I'm so excited about the product, and man, here she is. So thank you.
Well, I'm excited to have you use the product too. That's going to be fun.
Well, we're going to definitely put it through its paces. What we're going to do is actually, I'm going to have a couple crews, hopefully today. Again, we're all over the place, but particularly when CES is off and we get back into the studio and we do locations things, I'm going to actually switch from the product that I'm using, and I'm going to actually give this LiveU a shot, no pun intended. And let's talk a little bit about it. I am so impressed with this. I was looking it over. I just saw this yesterday for the first time. And I'll be honest, I didn't get a chance to hold it and play with it yet. But this morning when I came in, I was looking at it, and actually my first interview arrived, and I'm here looking all over this thing, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and use it. So tell us what it does, tell my audience what it does, and some of the technology that this actually incorporates.
So LiveU builds products primarily for the broadcast industry. That's where we started 10 years ago.
Right.
We're kind of experts in the space. And this idea of cellular bonding is a well-known facet of most broadcasters today. So they're either using a big satellite truck that's rolling up in front of an event.
And you've seen those, the ones with the big dishes on them spinning all around.
Exactly. And then they have to connect with a cable, and they're running cables everywhere. And that,
Correct.
that camera is basically stuck in that location, that
Correct.
reporter. cellular bonding comes onto the scene and now allows that reporter to break free from that cable, but still have a robust enough connection to go live.
Right. So essentially, I'll try to break this down and jump in wherever you want.
It.
You would have these trucks. My company, Multimedia Communications, frequently does work in Toronto, and they have a lot of skyscrapers, and we're frequently down in the Yonge and Dundas Square area, where they have all these huge digital signs. And in Toronto, in Yonge and Dundas Square, what they do is kind of neat. They have concerts there, and they broadcast the concerts, the live concerts, up on the digital signs.
Yeah.
So it's really a blast, and they probably have, 10, 15 just massive high-def signs. I mean, these are skyscraper signs like you'd see in New York City. And we would always have to have either a truck or two trucks with these giant panorama dishes on them, and cables all over the place. And the whole point of it was to go point to point so that you can transmit and get video. Extremely expensive, and the heck with the expense, the cabling and the wire and the electronic infrastructure
and the
was
team you need to do something like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You needed about 5 people minimum, and it was just brutal to coordinate, not to mention the expense. Now, I kid you not, this was about 6-7 years ago, maybe 8 at the most. That's what we would do, and we would do this several times a year. I kid you not. This device right now eliminates all of that.
Yeah.
And it does it better, quicker, faster, and easier. And expense-wise, it's infinitesimal comparison.
Less than the price of the camera in some cases.
Exactly.
But yeah, exactly that. So we're well known in that side of the industry, and like I said, it's a key component of most of the major broadcasters, regional sports networks, major sports teams, because they all know and understand about the importance of going live and going live from a remote location to bring an audience what's happening, whether it's breaking news, entertainment, sports. But we saw early on this dramatic shift to online video, and not just broadcasters doing both online and traditional television, but new broadcasters of all shapes and sizes, including yourself, for example. And now it's pretty much anyone is a content creator.
Yeah, and that's the point I want to make. So if you are interested in creating any kind of content, and you want the most efficient way, and quite frankly, one of the least inexpensive ways to do it, you got to check out this LiveU device. So let's talk a little bit about the connectivity, how it works, what it does.
Sure. So what it does is there's two aspects to it. It's bonding multiple connections together, and then an algorithm that dynamically adapts that video encoding.
Okay, so when you talk about bonding,
yes.
we're talking about, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just so excited about this.
Yes.
So we have two cards in here, if you will. I call them cards, but they're actually sticks.
Yes, little USB cellular modems.
Okay, so this is what it looks like.
It's the same thing that you would plug into your laptop to get connection rather than a Wi-Fi.
Right, so you're basically going to purchase one of these, and you have a service a plan of like you would do with anything else, and now you have a portable connectivity stick, as I like to call it. And this works on pretty much everybody's service, T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, Verizon, and
U.S. Cellular, and of course then internationally as well. We can connect to basically any USB modem and carrier.
Okay, we'll get into the detail in a second. I'm just trying to give you guys an overview.
Yeah, a little perspective.
Okay, so this basically is going to plug in here, and now, guess what? I have phone service, I have connectivity, and we'll drill down in a minute or two. And this just basically slides into the slot here, and there you go. And you're going to have more than one stick, if you will. You might want two of the same, but typically you want 2 or 3 different ones.
It's nice to have a mix because depending on where you are, connection speeds will be different on different carriers, different locations in the globe. Yeah.
And this is a perfect example at CES because as you walk through the hall, there's so much radio frequency just blowing all over the place. I feel it going through my head right now. So there's so many different frequencies going on here. So much. I can't begin to tell you all the different types of high-resolution signals that are pumping out of this place.
Not to mention 200,000 people here all using their cell phones.
Right. So the connectivity is extraordinarily difficult. Let's just leave it at that. I mean, extraordinarily difficult. I would go so far as to say, if you can connect here, if you can get a device to work here, you're going to get it to work almost anywhere. So that's where, again, this comes in that bonding technology, taking that algorithm to basically bond and
We
understand.
bond the signals together. This device will take up to 2 cellular modems plus Wi-Fi, and if you're stationary, you can also add in Ethernet
Right,
as
we
well.
have an Ethernet port.
Yeah, on the other side here, right?
There we go.
Right there.
So if I
Yeah.
have the old cable, it can go in there also. Okay, so now we have connectivity through a variety of means. You can
Right.
go through the your sticks. Okay, so you're on cellular. You can go through a hard wire through your Ethernet cable, and we also have the ability to do Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and so what we're doing is we actually bond all those connections together. So let's say you're getting a couple megabits per second on each cellular, and then another maybe 3 megabits per second on Wi-Fi.
Right.
Add all that together, now you've got a 7 megabits per second connection.
Which is
and
what you want.
That will range and flex and be dynamic as you're
Right.
roaming around. But because we dynamically adapt that video bit rate now as it's moving around, so meaning, let's say there's a tremendous loss because you're going to a far corner of this convention center that's encased in concrete.
Right.
The video stream won't dip because we'll dynamically lower that bit rate, and then the second, because we talk back and forth to the encoder, this little device, the second the connection speeds are really robust, we'll ramp that back up. And that's important.
It's extremely important
Yeah.
because LiveU, in my opinion, does that better than probably anybody else. And that alone is the difference between being on the air with a solid signal and
Right.
not worrying about it, and kind of sort of not being on the air or being on the air. But it's that.
Well, when you're going online, though, too, especially with some of the online video providers, and now social media is huge on Facebook Live,
For
there
sure.
needs to be a certain baseline consistency of that stream. The last thing you want is your viewers at home chiming in,
Oh, yeah.
tuning in to watch you live, and either it looks bad because it starts to break up and pixelate,
Right.
or that stream bombs out.
Right. This is where the pedal hits the metal. If this device doesn't work, you're done. And the other thing is too, if you're broadcasting live and the signal starts to break up, people aren't going to watch it.
No.
They're just going to turn it off, and you've lost that opportunity. So if you're going to use a device, this is why I like LiveU, because they've been at it pretty much longer than anybody else, and also
10 years.
the quality
Yeah.
of what you do is the
Yeah.
quality of the device is. This is an Israeli-based company.
It's an Israeli-based company. It actually was founded after one of our co-founders attended a soccer game in Israel, and he
Oh, I
saw
didn't know
back
that.
in the days of 2G, saw people out with their cell phones and saw all the satellite trucks and thought there's got to be a better way. And
great
yes, so
story.
through the years, as bandwidth has increased, the technology has gotten better and stronger. The internal antenna arrays, we don't have to get super technical, but the products can get smaller and more robust. And so that's really exciting too, because we see it's not just online video. Live is very much a key component. I've attended several sessions. I've done some speaking just in the last day,
Right.
and live is the number one thing people pound on. Great quality content, and that means what you're saying and doing and producing,
Right.
but also making sure that quality looks
you need
good
both.
on the other end.
You got to have both.
But by being able to go live, audiences at home feel like they're experiencing something in real time. They feel like they're really there. So regardless of your content, it's just a much more enriched experience.
Right.
And brands are tuning into that now too, and realizing that the value and power of live to get their message across is just tremendous.
Again, LiveU brings the total package to the public, if you will. Now, let's talk a little bit about connectivity in terms of
Yeah.
we have the connection now. We've established how we get that through the sticks and through the Ethernet and also through the Wi-Fi. And now let's talk about how we connect this device up and what it actually will do for
So
us.
there's two things, right? So now your source, this device can take in both HDMI as a source or SDI. So you can
Okay.
use a wide range of camera equipment.
Okay,
You
so-
don't need to have a big, huge broadcast level production camera. You can have a simple DSLR.
Right, so you can take your camera output, and there's an HDMI
Yep.
jack right here, so you're going to take your camera output or whatever it is you're outputting that's HDMI, and away you go. And also in here, you have the SDI if you're using Pro Gear. We typically use SDI. Oddly enough, today we're using HDMI. So again, here's a device that's versatile and takes both of those connections. A lot of them don't. So
Right.
that's a big plus.
It is
again.
it is a big plus. Then on the other side, again, we took all of this great technology that's on the broadcast side, made it in a much more user-friendly format. But that also means being able to now stream out needs to be just as user-friendly.
Sure.
So we took a lot of time and worked with a lot of online video providers as partners, including Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, to directly integrate in through their API, so that there's one login that you have to do, which is you're logging into this LiveU
Right.
Solo portal, and you can do it from any web-enabled device. So you don't need to lug around a laptop or anything crazy. You can even do it from your phone. And that's where you log in and then can actually point this Solo unit to the destination of your choice.
Can we get to that login here?
So go to
Or-
solo.liveu.tv.
I'll let you drive. Yeah, you're-
All right.
You're ergonomically
This
closer to the
is-
iPad.
Yeah. And this is our portal. So it's once you buy the unit, you would come here and create your account.
Okay, this is another thing that I like about it. We're going to pop that up. So there we go.
All right, so I'm going to log into my, oops, where are we? Solo.
So
Bear with
when
me a
you
second.
buy this device, this is the portal that you actually will go to.
Correct. And I'm going to log in, and hopefully we'll actually see one of my units on this screen now, streaming elsewhere in the hall. So what I've got here, I've got several of my demo
Right.
units that are logged in here.
Right.
When you create an account, you would actually go into this add a solo unit up at the top of the top right,
Correct.
and you enter in the serial number, and you've created that.
It's very simple to use, actually.
Yeah. So I'm not going to mess with the ones that
Sure.
are green because
No,
that means these
no.
guys are connected and doing something or might start streaming very quickly.
Okay, right.
But what you can do is for the one on the bottom, my Han Solo unit, that's my early demo unit. We had a little fun naming them. You can actually go in and select the destination.
Yeah.
And here's where you'll see all the different
Okay,
places.
this is the part
Yeah.
that really, this is where one of the areas where LiveU shines. This is a very easy, simple to use interface. You believe me, you do not see this often.
Yeah, well, it is, and I am proud of it. It's cool. I will just scroll down to show you. We've got a lot of connections with various other online video providers. They're not what we call one-touch. You still have to go to their site to get the ingress URL, and then
Sure.
you key it in here. But you can also do a custom RTMP location if you're going to stream straight to your own web page.
Right, right.
And the cool thing is you can save it, so you can see all the different ones that I've saved down at
Right,
the
which
bottom
is
of the
nice
screen.
because once you configure to wherever
Right.
you want to stream, you don't have to go through that the second
Exactly,
time. It's
exactly.
already there. And hopefully you'll notice some of the names that are up there.
Yeah.
I think you've heard of a couple of
Yeah,
them.
so that's where this gets fun. With Facebook, for example, we've worked closely with their development team to make a very super simple connection. So
Yeah,
what,
this is what really caught my eye.
so what
I
it's-
thought this
yeah,
was
what
so
it's doing
ingenious.
is it's prompting us to log in with Facebook. So if you're already an admin, and you can be an admin on multiple pages,
Sure.
you log in, and then all of your different Facebook pages that you can stream to will be, but continue to be there. But for now, we won't get too crazy. Let's just assume we've already connected to Facebook. Oh,
Right.
you know what? I will have to connect to a Facebook page to show you how we do
Okay,
this.
we're already streaming on our Facebook page.
That's
so.
probably why it's not showing and
Yeah,
allowing
yeah.
you to log in, because you
Yep,
probably
this-
already logged in
we're streaming
from this
right now on-
device.
right, exactly.
Yes, okay.
Yep.
But what
Okay.
you will see if you do that is you actually get within this portal, you'll actually see the window where you can then simply create your title, add your description.
Right, it's very simple.
You select what resolution you want to stream
Right.
to. You can do it in preview mode or in live mode.
Yep.
We just recently added the new Facebook feature for branded content. So if you're a whitelisted Facebook user and you're streaming content that's been sponsored,
Right.
you can make sure it has all those tags with your sponsors.
Yeah, you
And
really
then-
make it easy.
And then you're set. So I'm actually going to
Okay,
show
we'll-
you one that's
We'll
live.
go back on live.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and this one's not live. Yep, we are. So basically, all you have to do is then click on the little green camera icon, and you are streaming. Or you can start streaming straight from the device itself by
Right.
pressing the
Yeah,
play
let
button.
me show the audience that
I'm
is
actually going to turn it on too, so maybe it'll boot up while we're talking. But there's a little, it's the
I
power
know,
button,
plug
but it's
in.
also, it is,
Okay.
well, it's powering up, so we're in good shape. It is battery powered, and that's a good thing to mention.
It's a good thing, especially here. I have
Yes.
no more outlets.
And that's the whole point. It is kind of like a run and gun device. You can grab it and go. You have up to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on how much you're streaming. So, but you can power it down in between posts, and you can, as long as you have a 12-volt external battery with the proper input,
Right.
you can use another battery pack too. We find most people are probably streaming for about 2 hours at a clip anyway. Anything longer than
Yeah,
that is a
but
bit
you know
of a
what?
long
But again,
stream.
you're covered. You can always have that extra battery and pop it in and.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I mean, that's kind of it. We just kind of just went through how easy it is to stream. I don't want to say it's any more complicated than that.
No, it is
But there's
that
a few
simple.
other bells and whistles. From the LCD screen, you actually can see a preview.
Yeah, can we just show that here?
Yeah, so
There's
it's
the
booting up now,
LCD
so you're
screen
seeing
right
kind of
there.
the home screen.
Right.
But once you have a source connected to it, you can actually see what that source is, and you can preview. You'll get a status on here that it's streaming live, or a status in the portal that you're streaming. So someone back in a different location can actually be doing that as well for you.
All right, thank you. Now, my question is this, and I get asked this quite frequently.
Yeah.
How does one pay, or how do you account for the costs that are involved to stream? Because you're going to be using bandwidth, And can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
With this particular device, there's a cost to purchase the device. Okay, and what's the price point on this?
So it's $14.99, and then there also is a monthly or annual cloud service fee, and that's basically taking the place of having to have a physical server to do the transcoding. You get the benefit of our bonding and our transport protocol through the cloud, through this portal, and that's $45 a month or $450 a year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Believe me, you want to pay that, because if you try to do it yourself, you'll be looking for this service real quick.
It's basically be the same as using just your cell phone, because you're using one connection and it's RTMP only. You want that bonding technology to have that robust signal. Then when it comes to the cellular or your Wi-Fi, that plan is up to you. And it allows people the flexibility to have several different carriers if they're roaming around. I mean, what we always tell people, when you're paying for that plan, it's not just sitting on a shelf when you're not using Solo. You can actually plug it into your laptop and use it. It's a plan, but it allows you to control that. We have a lot of people who are new to live streaming that say, well, I'm not streaming that much. I'm sure once you start playing with this, you're going to realize how much more you will actually start doing.
Because this device makes it easy.
Yeah, so there's always that. But it allows you the flexibility to control and manage that. But when you talk about data usage, let's talk about that, because you're going to be looking at what kind of gigabyte plan you're going to use. You know, to have a really solid, robust connection, we were streaming in this little space yesterday doing a test, and we had about 5 megabits per second up. You can gauge that then by the length of time that you're
just
streaming.
do the multiple.
And there's some math there too that you can do pretty easily. Yeah.
Great. Well, Claudia, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's always a lot of fun.
Thank you for being so upbeat about it, too. You just woke me up.
I did?
Yes, it was good.
Oh, my God. I got to wake up myself.
Yeah.
He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.